Good afternoon everyone and welcome back to another episode of Planet Coaster Alton Towers. Today we are completing the queue line finally. We took quite a few episodes doing this queue line, but finally it's complete and we can move on to the station in the next episode. Of course, if you do enjoy these daily Planet Coaster Alton Towers videos and you're not subscribed, then please do consider subscribing because it helps out the channel a lot more than you think. With that being said, let's get right into the time lapse for today's video. We're not going to have a cinematic in the middle, just one long time lapse, and then we'll have a cinematic at the end. So then, to start off today's video, I'm actually doing all the terrain and everything for the top level of the queue line, and eventually in the end I just end up using elevated paths once again like I did in a previous episode, you know, just because once again I'll say this, the terrain system is so stupid in Planet Coaster. The terrain and the path system, they're so stupid when you try and put them together. Really, the terrain system alone has really good tools for making really detailed terrain, but then when you try and put paths on it and scenery on, well, not scenery but just paths, that's when it just gets appalling. Really, that's why I hate it so much. So yeah. Now I'm actually going to be doing this sort of building sort of thing that's right at the centre in it. It's one of the final buildings. I don't know what the building is called, but it's just another building in Oblivion's queue line really. There's nothing to comment on that. One thing I should actually talk about in today's episode is a lot of news that's been coming out from the UK theme parks. Yesterday, I don't know if it's yesterday, it was the other day, let's just say the other day, Alton Towers announced that the gardens are reopening for the 6th of June this Saturday, which is really good. Of course, I won't be up there, I'm like an hour and a half away, so, you know, not like I'm going, but yeah, for those that live local to Alton Towers, it's absolutely fantastic. Of course, there is an admission fee. There's, I think it's £12 for non-pass holders, and then for pass holders you actually have to pay a £1 booking fee, and I assume that's just to make sure that you're actually going, because it's limited numbers and you know you don't want to cancel last minute and then someone else could have had your slot. So by charging you £1, like, you're essentially guaranteeing that you're going there. So I don't know if that makes sense. Yeah, but basically someone else could have your spot if you just cancel last minute, so it's to discourage you from cancelling last minute basically. That's what I was trying to say. And also, this morning's news, the UK Merlin theme parks are aiming, this isn't confirmed or official yet, but they are aiming for an opening on the 4th of July, which right now is of course the first day of the whole plan the government have to reopen the country. And so they said 4th July is hospitality can reopen, and so the Merlin theme parks have took that and said, right, 4th July we're aiming for that opening. It's fantastic news, to be honest, that the theme parks are reopening once again. Of course I won't be there until autumn, but you know, it'll be nice to see Twitter posts and YouTube videos on all the theme parks once again, and actually see, you know, people in the park enjoying it. And I assume Merlin have lost a lot of money from this, and also Fort Park have now delayed the opening of Black Mirror Labyrinth to next year, just like Gangster Granny and Tornado Springs. But the reasoning for Gangster Granny's delayed opening and Tornado Springs delayed opening is because the parks wanted them to have quite a big opening day. Really, they want large crowds on their opening day. With Black Mirror Labyrinth, it's a slightly smaller attraction because it's taking up where the Walking Dead maze used to be, and that was just a seasonal attraction for Fright Nights, and I think they did it a bit throughout the summer as well. But so it's kind of interesting that they've delayed Black Mirror. Some things somewhere suggest that it might be due to like the small confined nature of it. I don't know, that's my theory, is it's not safe to reopen it at this time. Or I say reopen, it's not even open in the first place. But other rides, like, not rides but attractions, because it's not a ride, is it? Attractions like Black Mirror Labyrinth, say Ghost Train or Hex or the Alton Towers Dungeons, they might not reopen on the 4th of July because they are small confined areas that require quite a large group of multiple parties. You got other dark rides like Duel that can reopen because, you know, the ride vehicle can just house one party in there. But stuff like Hex and Ghost Train especially, you've got quite a large group going in at once, and so they might not reopen, and if they do, it'll definitely be on some sort of reserved system. So it will be interesting to see what happens in the next few weeks. It'll be interesting to see what happens with Ghost Train and Hex and the Alton Towers dungeons. Will they reopen? Will they not reopen? It's all just up in the air right now. Nobody knows, and to be honest, the 4th of July opening date, like I said, it's not confirmed, it's not set in stone. It could be pushed back, depending on how the situation is at the time, because, yeah, that is the government's plan. The 4th of July opening date, for all the hospitality industry, you know, that's not set in stone. It might change, it might be pushed back, it might get pushed forward, not pushed forward, but pulled forward. That's very unlikely, but you never know. One thing I also want to talk about in today's video is, of course, yesterday we had the announcement of Community Canyon, that I'm joining CoasterBot, Silverhead Digital Town and Coaster Connection to make that park. That'll be on the channel for about a week and a half, in a few weeks time, so it does of course mean that Towers will be going off this channel for a while, but I want to keep progress going with Towers, and so I've actually enlisted the help of My Curious Mind. He's going to be taking over the park when I'm doing the Community Canyon park, and he'll actually be doing Spinball Wizard. We've settled and everything, so he'll be doing a Spinball Wizard in a few weeks time whilst I'm doing Community Canyon. And so when I'm done with Community Canyon, hopefully he'll be done with Spinball Wizard. My Curious Mind, if you're watching this, if you're not done with Spinball Wizard, I swear to God. I'm just joking, of course, but that's basically the plan. So here I'm doing these, what do you call these? Like these prison cells? I have no idea. Oblivion's queue line really does confuse me sometimes. You've got so much random theme. You've got that projector, you got all the rocks and all like the queue screens and everything, and it's just a bit weird. And then you got this to take you into the station. It's very, very weird. It's like you're being batched into it. I mean, you are being batched into the station, of course, but it's like you are definitely in this government facility. Smiler doesn't have that. Smiler is supposed to be a government facility, but it doesn't feel like one. Oblivion does. So here I'm actually starting the whole outline of the station. We're not doing the station in this episode, that'll be in tomorrow's episode, but I basically wanted to do this just to get an idea of how the station is going to fit around Planet Coaster Station. Now, of course, the station in Planet Coaster is slightly more wider than the real Oblivion station, so that's going to be a bit off in the accuracy, which is unfortunate, and I've said this once already. I just hate Planet Coaster's coaster stations, really. They're so stupid. You can't change anything. And I've actually had to put the exit in the wrong place, like you see right there. The exit is not there, is it? It's not there, but you can't put it where it's supposed to be in Planet Coaster because it's so stupid. Honestly. Yeah, so for the final part of today's video, I'm actually going to leave you now because, yeah, this is it now. We've only got a few minutes left. It's just going to be the scenery, the bushes, the trees and everything that go all around this area. So yes, with that being said, I'll leave you with the rest of the time-lapse and of course the cinematics at the end of the video. Thank you for watching today's video. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you aren't subscribed, then please do consider subscribing because it helps out the channel a lot more than you think. And with that being said, I'll see you in tomorrow's Alton Towers Planet Coaster video. Goodbye.
Thank you.